We don't know what to do without an idea. And the idea tells us everything. So it's common sense that ideas are super important. And I love the idea of catching ideas, and they're out there, millions and millions of ideas, and we don't know them until they enter the conscious mind. And then we know them, and we see them and hear them and feel them. We know the mood of them, even if it's just a small fragment of what could be a whole film or a painting or whatever. We fall in love with it for some reason. Something inside of us says, this is a great idea for me. And then you write that idea down on a piece of paper in such a way that when you read what you wrote, the idea comes back in full. Super important to write down your ideas so you don't forget them. I say intuition is the number one tool, really, of the human being. Intuition, the way I think about it, is mind and emotion, intellect and emotion together. It's a feel thinking, it's a knowingness. And it is extremely important. Everybody has this, but I don't think everybody has the same amount. It's like consciousness. They say every human being has consciousness, but not every human being has the same amount. The potential, however, for every human being is infinite consciousness, enlightenment, supreme enlightenment. And we could talk about that sometime too. And intuition is tied tightly to consciousness. You can't just wish for more intuition. You can't just imagine you have more intuition. Same way with consciousness. You can't just wish for more. You can't just imagine more. You got to go where it is and get more. It's like fishing. You can put your hook on a desert and lay it on the desert in the sand. You wait for a long time for a fish, maybe huge ages of time. A lot of ideas come from our world, and our world holds a lot of violence. Violence in the homes, violence on the streets, violence in the city, violence in the country, violence in all the countries. A lot of violence, a lot of corruption, a lot of suffering, a lot of tension, anger, hate, fear, a lot of mistakes. Prisons are full, hospitals are full. It's a mess. And it doesn't have to be this way, but it is the way it is. And ideas come from our world. Stories emerge from our world. And stories involve things that are in the world. You know, I always say, have the suffering and the violence and all the things of human nature, negative and positive, in the script, in the film, in this book, but not in your life. And that you don't have to suffer to show suffering on a screen or in a book. You can be very happy showing suffering. And that's the key to things. Stories all through time have had conflict and all these different things. But the ideas come from the world. They come from other places, it seems also, but a lot come from just our world, and the feeling of being in this world conjures these stories that come. What scares fish away or makes it more difficult is stress, depression, sorrow, anxieties, tension, traumatic stress, hate, anger, and fear. All these things are in the family of negativity, and they restrict a lot of things. They restrict happiness, and they restrict, sleep, and you get fatigued. Fatigue is not good for catching ideas. And they like I say, squeeze the tube through which the ideas flow. They cloud the mind, all these things. So give yourself a chance to get those ideas, and at the same time bring all these positive things along with them. Things that you're going to need, like energy and like awareness, understanding, and it's real important.